Today on GameWorks, we discuss Flappy Birds and what exactly video games are. I sure hope they aren't just weird fishbird things with extreme allergies to Mario pipes. Ew.
No.
It says here to stop making stupid internet videos.
Oh, that can't be right.
I don't think so.
Welp, I'm gonna go suck some more.
Okay, well I guess I'm just gonna play games on my phone. Will you stop that?
Sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah!
Whoa, man, calm the hell down.
You're a pixelated flying fish on my phone. How can you be real?
The ancient prophecies tell us that once someone, somewhere, reaches a score of 10,000 on Flappy Birds, I shall be released into the world and become one with the universe.
So that's what happened? Who got to 10,000?
Huh? Oh, I don't know, some Asian kid.
I would, yeah. Fucking Asians.
But something's...
Excuse me, but something's wrong. The huge controversy surrounding my game has caused me to become trapped here in this mortal realm. People saying I'm fun, people saying I'm stupid, some people claiming that I'm not even a game at all. The only way to send me on my way is to settle the debate, once and for all.
Why didn't you look up the definition of a video game, like on Google or something?
No, yeah, I thought of that. I just wanted to see if you would think of that. So shut up.
Okay, let's see all the definitions that Google says for video game. A game played by electronically manipulating images produced by a computer program on a television screen or other display screen.
An electronic game in which players control images on a television or computer screen.
Any of various games played using a microcomputer with a keyboard and often joysticks to manipulate changes or respond to the action or questions on the screen.
Any of various games played using a microchip-controlled device as an arcade machine or handheld toy.
Here's Urban Dictionary. Only thing that's fun to do anymore.
Oh. David Cage, director of Quantum Dream, the studio behind Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. No one can define what a video game is. Well, that's helpful. Can't it be just like a game, but on some kind of electric screen?
Well, maybe, but I said in the Limbo video that there's a difference between regular games and video games, so I've kind of backed us into a corner.
Wow. Fuck you.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Okay, so let's figure out the actual possible definition of a video game. First, let's put video games into two categories: games in which emotional investment comes from immersion, and those that are non-immersive. Non-immersive games are games in which emotional investment doesn't come from an immersion in the specific mechanics and features of the game, such as games where immersion comes from challenge or the mastery of a strategy. Immersive games are the opposite. They're games in which you become invested through the characters, mechanics, settings, and story of the games. The art of the games, for lack of a better word. So for a non-immersive game, think of something like chess. If you're playing chess, you can still be very emotionally invested if you're just really into chess. On the other hand, there are things like Limbo, where your immersion can partly come from the challenge, but much more likely and fully comes from the story and atmosphere.
But what about things that aren't video games, but still involve a deep level of immersion? Like Dungeons and Dragons, or like live-action role-playing.
Oh, LARPing. Well, to accommodate for that, we have to split the immersion category into two more sections: digital and physical games. The difference between the two is whether or not the game interface involves some sort of electronically created screen, as should be fairly obvious, but also implies there's something in the game that could only or most easily be achieved digitally. So under physical yet immersive games, we have D&D and LARPing and other things like that, and under digital, we have games that have mechanics, settings, or premises that can only be achieved digitally, like Mario, The Last of Us, Call of Duty, Fez, the list goes on.
So you're basically just saying that things like Skyrim are basically just D&D on a screen. Oh yeah, I'm sure that won't make anybody upset.
Well, of course there are some obvious differences, but I would challenge anyone to find differences that don't simply stem from Skyrim being a digital experience and D&D being a physical one. The things that do end up differentiating things like Skyrim are things that could only be done in a digital setting, like its visuals, soundtrack, and sound design.
But what about regular physical games put into a digital format, like computer chess or computer poker?
Well, these things aren't technically truly video games either, as they take intrinsically physical things and seek to represent them faithfully in a digital setting. So let's split the non-immersive game category now as well into purely physical games and digitally represented physical games. This line becomes blurred around things like battle chess for the NES, in which a small battle cutscene is played every time you take a piece from your opponent. Short of attacking the person you're playing every time you win a piece, this experience can't really be replicated in real life, leading it more towards being defined as a digital game and not a physical one. As with many things, these lines we're drawing can be shifting, and can blur around some games that have the components of all or more of these types of games we're discussing.
So according to the bright lines we've drawn, this leaves video games defined as games that are both digital and immersive. So I guess the real question now is, where can we fit Flappy Bird into this?
Well, first let's look at the history of Flappy Birds itself. Flappy Birds was released by Gear Studio in 2013. Its creator, Dong Nguyen, programmed the entire game inside of 3 days. He created the game out of a desire to make an extremely simplified game with basic controls that could appeal to anyone.
And this extremely basic quality to the game is what makes most people question its video game-ness-osity. And truthfully, even under the definition that we've crafted, it's questionable. I mean, can bouncing up and down really be considered a game mechanic that is unique to the digital realm?
But I think that Flappy Birds can hold its head high and continue to call itself a video game. I mean, sure, some people do say that it can be frustrating enough to make you grind your face against solid concrete.
And it is.
But it still has a set of present, if simple, mechanics that add to immersion. The carefully arced bouncing is perfectly tuned to be difficult without being impossible, and that causes you to continue to play even if the game gets frustrating, because it feels like you are failing and not like the game is just broken. And that makes the only other real mechanic in the game, that high score number in the top, another factor to reckon with. If the game just felt broken and unfair, you would ignore that number as what it is, basically just another arbitrary number. But because of the well-timed bouncing mechanic, combined with the fact that the actual difficulty of dodging the pipes stays constant, that little number at the top of the screen becomes an indicator of your progress, and, even more significantly, an addictive and immersive challenge. I mean, have you ever seen how upset people get at this game? I definitely call that emotionally invested. So, Feck, have we settled it? Is Flappy Birds officially a video game?
Nope.
Care to want to explain that further? Well, I guess we're just gonna have to agree to disagree then.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to fucking kill him.
So now it's up to you, the audience. Is Flappy Bird a video game or not? His destiny of becoming one with the universe hangs in the balance. Debate it down in the comments below, and as always, like if you like to like things, comment if you commonly comment on things, subscribe, and share us among your friends and on the social medias if you really want to help us out. See you guys next episode.